Good morning, everyone. Welcome into the Run Your Day podcast. As always, Dan Hafner joining you here this morning. It is finally Friday, my friends. If you're keeping up with the show, it is a Friday when I record this. I don't know if you go back in time or not, but anyway, today is Friday. We're feeling good. It's the Friday before Memorial Day, and today's topic is this: how to make things happen. M.A.K.E. As always, thank you all for joining. So, as you see in the title of this, or if you're driving, basically what I did was make the word "make" a acronym. A couple days ago, or I guess it was, it was a couple days ago. I was asked while I was at work by a person, how I make things happen. I've been making things happen lately. I've been succeeding. I've been kind of getting some new customers. Been actually doing I wouldn't say very well, but been actually getting results. Right. Now, there's a whole big, long process that I've been going through that I really don't have time to share on one of these shows, or at least one of these shows. But it's been a process. Like just putting it out there. It's been a process, but it got me thinking, and it started to kind of, I sat back and I thought about it, and I was like, that's an interesting word, make things happen. M.A.K.E. And what I did was I sat down and I thought of an acronym for that. So I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to talk to you guys about a little bit about how I make things happen and how you can make things happen, right? So when you think about something you have to do, now this applies to not things that we have to do, but things that we want to do, things that aren't mandatory for us to complete, but they're important for us to complete, not urgent, right? They can always be done. It's something you're kind of hoping for, wishing for down the road, but not being able to do right now. So the M is for must. Like, you have to flip this script right away. Another word I use for this is mandatory. Like, you have to make whatever it is you're trying to do and accomplish a must. You have to make it mandatory, even if it's something that you sit back and it's still like a nice to have thing, or it's an optional thing. You can't think that way. It has to become mandatory, like non-negotiable. It has to just be like, I need to get this done. I will sacrifice other things in order to get it done, and that's the end of the story. And it takes a mindset shift in order to do this, right? So the first part is you make it a must. The second part, action. You have to be able to take a clear black and white action, at least one, if not more, towards the thing that you want to do. Like, if you have, let's use an example of, you're writing a paper. Like, let's just use a simple example. You're writing a paper and it's due in a month. Well, if you want to get it done and go out this weekend and you want to be able to not worry about it, this must get done by Friday at noon, right? Must get done by Friday at noon. Say it's Monday. Now, you have to take actions. You have to have a clear deliverable to say yes or no, this will be done by noon. And you have to be able to take, that time. You step back and you look and you say, is this done? Yes or no. You can't leave any room for ambiguity. You can't leave any room for, well, maybe it kind of is done. Like, no, it has to be black and white, yes or no. You have to have an action. This gets you results, because if you live in the land of maybe, sitting on the fence of just never knowing what you truly accomplished, you'll never actually get shit done. You'll just be always in that land of like, well, I think I'm making progress. I don't know. That's misery. You don't want to be there. Okay. Number 3, the K in the word make. We have must, we have action, and the letter K stands for key. Like, you have to think, what is the key to actually getting this? What is the key to actually accomplishing this? And a lot of times there's going to be things that are blocking you. So you have to think through, like, what are the things that are going to get in my way? Like, other distractions that are going to come up, things that I'll get sidetracked by. And you have to think of what strategically you're going to do to combat those. If this is that important to you, if that paper is that important to you to get done by Friday at noon, like, you're going to have, work, you're going to have dinner, you're going to have exercise, you're going to have kids, you're going to have dogs, you're going to have errands, you're going to have bills, you're going to have phone calls, you're going to have FaceTime, you're going to whatever. Like there's all kinds of millions of things that could come up. And you have to think through like, okay, if I'm not taking the key actions to actually accomplish this, it's not going to get done, and it's going to be just a lack of word. It's going to be terrible, right? It's just not going to get done, right? Okay, so the final and fourth part to this, we have must, we have action, we have key, and then the last part for E is expectations. And this is kind of a tricky one, and I could talk a lot more on this one, but I'll try to keep it short. The expectations part of this is that we all have kind of fantasies and wishes as to what we want to accomplish with something, right? Like we have an idea in our head, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how it's going to be done. It's going to be awesome. Well, let's come back to reality for a second and set a clear expectation of like, what's it really going to look like, right? Let's not set ourselves up for disappointment. Let's set realistic expectations for something. And this isn't to downgrade what you're trying to do or to keep your feet grounded or, downplay things. Like that's not what I'm trying to say at all. Like you should definitely reach for the stars and try to do the best you can with things. But in terms of this, what I'm talking about more is you have to think through like, what's this in reality going to look like, right? Like I might have these lofty expectations for something, but in reality, it's going to be a little more like this. So when I, start attacking something that I need to get done, I say, okay, like once I accomplish this, like what's this really going to improve for me? Or what's this really going to look like once I have it done? And then that sets a clear expectation for me. So it kind of gets my head out of the clouds a little bit, but also gives me something to shoot for. Right? So let's review here. So we have how to make things happen, right? M-A.K.E, make. Number one is must. You must make things mandatory. They have to become non-negotiable. This needs to be done, right? The second part, action. You have to take black and white, clear actions towards getting something done. There's no room for ambiguity, no confusion. It's either a yes, I did this, or no, I did not. Number three, the key. You have to think through the key actions and the keys, the key strategic things that you need to do in order to combat the distractions that are going to come at you through the course of everyday life. And four, expectations. We all have lofty, crazy, sometimes too ambitious expectations for what things are going to look like when they're done or accomplished. But come back to reality, set some realistic, concrete expectations, and that way when you achieve them, you can see the direct result and the direct awesome nature of whatever it is you were trying to get done. So that is how I make things happen, my friends. And I hope you can take this and apply it into your life as well. Is there an area in your life where you need to make something happen? And how can you use this 4-part acronym of the make word that I came up with this week to apply that to your life? Okay, so that's my challenge and my question for you today. That's going to wrap up the show and the week. So my friends, it is going to be, I hope you have a good, safe Memorial weekend. Always enjoy. God bless America. Love to be here. It's born and raised, obviously, but it's a good time. We don't have any big plans yet, but hopefully we'll figure something out. So whatever you do, I hope you have fun. Hope you are safe and get out there and make some things happen, my friends. This is the Run Your Day podcast show. As always, Dan Hafner joining you here. Thank you all for joining. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to the Run Your Day podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, feel free to share today's show with friends and family. Until next time, have a great day.